history that you may not know. How Genghis Khan's daughters made him the ultimate beast of the East. Genghis Khan's daughters were instrumental in propelling him to dominance in the East through a strategic approach known as daughter diplomacy. He strategically married his daughters to allied kings, demanding the dismissal of other wives before the unions. Genghis Khan went further, ensuring his sons-in-law served in the Mongol Wars, guaranteeing their demise on the front lines. The fallen husband's empires then passed to Genghis Khan's widowed daughters, who became rulers safeguarding the Mongol homelands. This dynamic allowed Genghis Khan to focus on expansion while his daughters secured the empire, marking them as the key to his unparalleled success. How was the barter system replaced by paper money? Back in the day, when people used to trade goods, everything became complicated. It was difficult to determine prices and ensure fairness for everyone. That's why people agreed to use gold and silver as a medium of exchange. We all know that gold and silver are valuable, rare, and indestructible. However, there was a problem. Gold and silver were heavy, so the idea of using paper money emerged. It made it easier to carry around, especially for buying and selling. The first instance of paper money was in China, during the Tang dynasty. It was called IOU, which could be exchanged for gold, silver, or goods at government stores. Then, in Europe, central banks also introduced the concept of paper money, similar to IOU. Even though it wasn't as heavy as gold, this paper money had value because it represented the bank's debt to the holder. So now, we can carry around paper money that is more convenient, yet still holds value. The strangest pregnancy test in history. In ancient Egypt, people wanted to know whether a woman was pregnant or not. One unique method they used was the frog urine test. The process was simple. A woman would collect her urine and then place it in a container with a frog. If the frog showed specific reactions, such as moving or changing its behavior, ancient Egyptians considered it a sign that the woman was pregnant. Although not scientific, this frog urine test was believed due to their spiritual belief in the connection between frogs and the spirit world.
This princess turned into a worm after a sacrifice. In Indonesia, on the island of Lombok, lived a princess named Mandalika. When the island was rocked by a disaster, the king held an offering ceremony. Princes came to fight for the princess's heart. On the day of the ceremony, Princess Mandalika jumped into the sea as a sacrifice. Her body turns into a sea worm, forming a white expanse of sea called Nyale. Every year, people celebrate the Bao Nyala ceremony, searching for Nyala for good luck. The story lives on, becoming Lombok's cultural heritage.
Iconic last words of history's famous leaders. When Julius Caesar was attacked by a group of Roman senators, he noticed his trusted friend Marcus Brutus among the assailants, and uttered his final words, questioning, "Even you?" Brutus, as Alexander the Great faced a severe illness, his generals inquired about the fate of his vast empire. After his death, Alexander responded, stating that it would belong to the strongest, sparking a war among his generals lasting for 5 decades. Rome's inaugural and arguably greatest emperor, Augustus, conveyed his final words to those gathered around his deathbed. Napoleon, moments before his death, reportedly expressed his deepest sentiments, encompassing his love for his country, his military career, and his first wife, Josephine.
The most weird ritual of every empire. In ancient Rome, women used to purchase pots containing gladiator sweat. They used it as a facial cream to improve their complexion. The Egyptians used crocodile dung as a contraceptive. It had some effect as it made it harder for the sperm to survive. I guess it mainly worked because it was a huge turnoff in the first place. The Vikings had a disturbing ritual in which the slave girl had to join her master in the afterlife. When he died, the girl would have to perform sexual rites with a man from every house before she was sacrificed by the village matriarch. The Persians had a weird tradition in which they would get drunk after making a decision. If they still felt the same way after getting drunk, it was considered the right decision.